Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Monday. This is Faith Family Focus, and I am one of your co-hosts, Faith Suggs, former Duke women's basketball alum and current CEO and founder of Brand by Faith, as well as marketing manager for SIG Sports. This wonderful man next to me is my father, Schaefer Suggs, former NFL player with the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals. Also served on the executive board and as VP with the RPFPC, also known as the NFLPA Chicago chapter. Good morning, Schaefer Suggs.
Good morning, Faith. How are you?
Good. How are you? It's officially fall.
Yeah, that's why I broke out my fall shirt.
Okay, well, you're like a day late. I had a nice multicolored orange, green, yellow, red flannel. You've seen it before. I've worn it on the show last Wednesday for fall. I feel like the day of Wednesday here in Chicago, it went from 80 degrees on Tuesday to about 60 to 70 on Wednesday. And I said, okay, this is
officially fall.
It's officially time. I know, because I think a lot of people don't know, but fall doesn't happen until like the end of September.
Right. Well, we're there. We're excited. Get a chance to go to my first Yale football game this weekend coming up. And they play historically HBCU school, Howard University. And I'm looking forward to seeing not only my son, but getting a chance to see that game because it's pretty historic. So looking forward to that. Always good around football season to be able to go watch it in person.
Did you say it was your first game? It's not your first game. How many games is this that you've been able to catch?
Well, it's my first game this year.
Oh, okay.
In person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the home games, and then the following week is Dartmouth. So, and then we have the Jets reunion that same weekend.
Okay.
So we get a chance to see the Jets against the Dolphins on that Sunday. So, some fun stuff. And this, again, it reminds me of fall, and it reminds me of ramping up for the holidays. I mean, we were actually driving to the promenade. You can see them getting ready to put the tree up. You know, already
the tree up, yeah.
Christmas tree up, yeah. There's a lot of people start putting up their Christmas tree ornaments because when it's warm like this, they can get up and put them. So I'm seeing that happen, right?
Okay. No.
That's too soon.
You know why it can't happen is because you have to put the Halloween decorations up first.
Well, you do, but they're not putting the decorations up. They're putting the framework for the decorations up so they can just hit the switch.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of people have thoughts about that because I think a lot of people, because you know what, some decorations are interchangeable. Halloween to Thanksgiving you can keep out because the colors are about the same. All you gotta do is remove like a boo sign, all the Halloweeny pieces, but you can keep the leaves, the colors, the lights,
the rust and the brown.
Christmas colors are red and green. Bright red and green. So that's all I'm saying.
I didn't say anything about decorations. I said about, you know what I'm talking about.
Framework. I just think it's strange that Don't think about this. Okay, let's think about this. What if they decorated the tree with Halloween stuff? That was big.
There you go.
Do you know that I always know it's fall when the geese start flying south in Illinois?
Oh, really?
You hear that. Well, not a lot of people know that this happens. They just think you see geese regularly, and no, they get out of Dodge.
We learned that in early childhood to see the birds get out of Dodge.
Yep.
Oh, you tell them, they looking back and say, "Let's have it go." Their little,
The V.
The V, right.
The V, yeah. No, it's exciting. I'm excited for fall. I think fall is the best season, in my opinion, because it has the most drastic change. Like, you actually can physically see the season change.
Yeah.
With the colors and the temperature. Obviously, winter is a drastic change, but I really think summer to fall is like the birth of a new season. I've heard a lot of people say, there's a quote. It says, fall is proof that change is for the better. And I think I always love that because I'm like, okay. Because it is. Fall is the best holiday. I mean, not the best holiday, the best season. So, I don't know. I'm excited for fall.
Well, welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, I wanted to dive a little bit into today. We're going to talk about seasons changing and how that affects you mental health wise, physical health wise, overall evolution, self evolution wise, as we're heading into the biggest holiday season per usual. Once you hit November, it's a slippery slope. Your wallets get empty, it gets cold, but the holidays come around and you see family. So we wanted to kind of dive into a little bit about that, the mental stuff that goes into it. But also, I wanted to dive a little bit into we are in our, I think, third or fourth week, I think, of NFL regular season. And there's a heck of a game last night between the Dolphins and the Bills. How funny is that? If we had said that 6 years ago, people would probably be like, no way that the Dolphins and the Bills are having a great matchup on Sunday Night Football. But I wanted you to go ahead and cover our NFL excerpt and kind of give us a little rundown about what you thought of the matchups yesterday. Go ahead.
Well, we're beginning to see that there's consistently the narrative about parity in the league. You saw Kansas City get beat by Indianapolis. You saw a very close game against with Brady and that was a classic backup. Brady and Aaron Rodgers, the Packers. We knew that was going to be the Tampa Bay is injury plagued, so we knew that was going to be a really difficult game. The Bears pulled one off against Lovey, his old team, and unfortunately, my Jets are back to status quo. They had a really big win last week, and then the Bengals blew them out. So there's some good games. I mean, we could talk about it, but people ask me, we were in week 3, right, Faith? Week
3 or 4, I believe.
Right around week 6, you're going to kind of see who is going to begin to make a run.
Yeah.
Right now, you've seen a lot of parity. You've seen a lot of teams beat a lot of teams. You've seen a lot of injuries too. So I didn't think that Buffalo was beatable until yesterday.
He's a bad man.
Yeah. Tua is really good, and people are like not giving him his prop, but he is a player, and when you add that receiver from the Kansas City Chiefs, you would know the name. They make so it's kind of neat because when I go to the Jets Legends weekends, the Jets will play the Dolphins, so I get a chance to see them play.
I think one of the things about the Dolphins that's funny is even the matchup itself between Tua to Josh Allen. Significant height difference, significant build difference. Their style of play as quarterbacks is significantly different. Josh Allen's very flashy, very flair, he moves. I mean, he's what, 6'4", 6'5", something like that. He's lanky.
He's big, mobile, got powerful arm, just an absolute phenomenal quarterback.
No, he's great. And that's why I think everyone was so interested in the matchup. I'm telling you, 6 years ago, if we were like the Bills and the Dolphins are having the game on Sunday that everyone needs to watch, people would have been like, you're crazy. But how great is that for those two organizations to slowly build? Because the Bills, I mean, they got not upset, but it was a sad loss in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That sparked the discussion over overtime rules in the NFL that we've actually talked about on this show. So I'm excited to kind of see what Josh Allen does. I think the Dolphins have the pieces. Yeah. I think Kansas City has the pieces. They always have the pieces. They have $1 million man in Patrick Mahomes. But I have no idea who is going to win the Super Bowl this year. But I think that's the best thing about how the NFL works. You have no idea who's going to be the Super Bowl champions this year. I mean, the LA Rams yesterday, last year, threw everyone off for a loop. So I think that I'm excited to kind of see as we're transitioning into half of the season, who really pulls away and who doesn't. I just think it's really hard these days in professional sports because each team is getting better and better. And trades and off seasons are crazier. Even with Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins, that was a crazy trade. I will say this though: Raiders are 0-3, and the Raiders made big moves this offseason to basically be a favorite for the Super Bowl, and they are 0-3.
They're going to be okay. If they're 0-3, fine. Just don't be 0-6. Okay, you know they can lose. They can lose 2 more games, possibly 3 more games, and still make a run for the playoffs.
No,
But
they
it's not
can't.
your start.
Don't be 0-6. If they lose 3 more games, they're 0-6. I guess I agree with you completely, though. It's the NFL is a funky league that way because you guys play less games, right? You have the wild card.
This year we're playing 17 games.
Okay, but you don't play 104. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the season really depends on every single game each week. Like everybody, right? Because if you beat the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers beat whoever you played last week or lost to last week, it's a good thing. So I think that's what I think what makes football or professional football fun. I don't know if you saw this. Pro Bowl is canceled. No more. Never happening again. Happened this morning.
Did not know that. Great.
What do you think?
Well, it went from when I played, it was like the Pro Bowl and playing in the program was it was just as prestigious as playing in the Super Bowl.
Right.
To them playing touch football.
Yeah.
It was like it was a waste of money. No one wanted to watch it. No one wanted to play it.
Yeah. Well, for injury purposes, we've had that conversation many times.
Right. Wow, I didn't know that. That's big news.
It just happened this morning.
Wow.
ESPN released it. I think as I look back on it, I really honestly, in my opinion, over the last couple of years, they have not changed All-Star break for NFL. We look at All-Star for NBA, WNBA.
There's no All-Star break in football. It's the end of the season.
Okay, hold on. Let me hold your actual horses and sit back. When I say All-Star, how long do you think NBA All-Star break is?
Are we talking about NBA or NFL?
How many days do you think NBA All-Star break is?
A week.
No, it's not. It's 3 to 4 days. Actually, it's 3 days. It's a weekend. Okay, so what's the Pro Bowl? 3 days because it's a weekend and it's a break from the regular season to the playoffs. So
yeah. So you know what? They just changed that. It used to be after everything. It used to be after the Super Bowl.
So it's not.
Now it's before the Super Bowl, right?
Okay, so it's almost exactly like, okay, just making sure that my similarity was clear so I can continue saying what I was saying. NBA, WNBA use their break for their All-Star game. That was also like the Pro Bowl game that was taking the All-Stars of every team and having them play in a game. Okay, similar. What I think that the basketball has done a good job on of elevating above the fear of injury is by making it more of like a networking event, entertainment thing over that. I think the Pro Bowl has had such a bad shadow over it for years because all the players are like, well, we don't want to play because we don't want to get hurt. The owners don't really want them to get hurt, but it's still a nice acknowledgement to have an athlete honored in the Pro Bowl. I don't think they should get rid of the event altogether. I don't think they should play in the Pro Bowl because football is such a physical and violent sport and that you're bound to get injured every game somehow. It's just the normalcy of it. We had the conversation before we hopped on. But I think that having something like that entertainment, allowing us to get to know the guys, have them do fun games, or maybe like there's a quarterback competition, or maybe it's like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, where we have the skills competition, you have the dunk competition. I think that would be really fun to watch on the NFL side.
They do that the week they do that. You were saying that, maybe replace the game with a college game. Maybe make a real game and make it the Pro Bowl week and have the game like they do the Hall of Fame. The week of the Hall of Fame, they have a Hall of Fame football game that's pros too. But I'm just
they closed the college all-star game too because of very fear we're talking about. And shoot, last year, this time or around a couple of weeks, we were talking about how college athletes don't even want to play in their bowl games anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like, I think football is the sport you cannot afford extra games, right? You can't afford extra snaps anymore, unfortunately. Now, well, there's some guys who need extra snaps, but the guys playing in the Pro Bowl, they're like, we don't need extra snaps. We need to be.
And when I played, that extra $10,000 a year was huge.
10,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 10,000.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you know.
I know.
I think it's okay. Like, here's my thing about what at the end of the year they have an all NBA first team, all NBA second team, and they have the all defensive team. They have defense, but all the awards we have as professional sports, you get a bonus for, right? I don't think they need the game. I think this was a smart move. I think that they were losing more money than bringing it in. So that's my own opinion. Also, before we transition into the awesome seasons and holidays and what we're going to start talking about today, WNBA Finals, we talked about the Las Vegas Aces. They've won the WNBA championship. We had a conversation last Monday. Becky Hammon, first year in the league as a first-year coach, head coach of WNBA, also former player, first head coach of WNBA to make over $1 million also. That's a big note to make. Have you seen the footage from the parade in Vegas?
No.
That is the best city for professional teams to win a championship. They had the parade going down the strip. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was like, first of all, if you've ever been to Vegas, you know Vegas is a day-long party on a Tuesday. So when it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And we've never seen teams win championships in Vegas, right? We just had the Raiders move to Vegas. We just had the Aces go to Vegas. So we really got to see or get a glimpse of
what celebration is all supposed to be like.
What a celebration is like in that market, right? We've seen LA, we've seen Chicago, we've seen Miami, we've seen Cleveland. We've seen all these places have parades and parties and the ceremony, but we've never seen it in Vegas. And I think in the last 5 years, Vegas has been a, I want to say, practice city for professional teams. And I think that it really did a great job. I mean, I think there should be more teams. I think there should be an NBA team. I don't really want an NBA team in Vegas. I don't. But I think there should be more teams. That was awesome. And I can only imagine when the Raiders eventually get a Super Bowl, we're going to hope they do, because I really want to see this happen again, or the Vegas Aces repeat, that city, it was just perfect. It was awesome to see. Very cool to see. And I think that it proved that that was a smart move for those organizations.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Hey, I want to pivot back. Thanks for sharing that. The Pro Bowl will be replaced with the Pro Bowl games. They're going to call it the Pro Bowl games.
What I just said.
The NFL will be replacing the Pro Bowl with a week-long field competition and a flag football game. The league announced on Monday. So kind of what you were talking about. That's what we're doing, which makes a lot of sense. You know, so they go to the game anyway. They would see. So now you got players. You could actually incorporate celebrities into it now. You could do a lot of different things.
NBA did. That's what I think. NFL does a great job of putting out product, but they don't have to do a job. Does that make sense? The NFL, American football, has always been a favorite. People, for some reason, gravitate towards NFL, right? We always have had that. I think it's because people like violence. That's also something that will never change, right? People get hyped up over NFL. I think that the NFL now is going to use this opportunity to try to bring more entertainment in the game, right? What is the one thing we look forward to every single year? The Super Bowl and the halftime show. That's all they really have to do and give us, right? They have to give us a good Super Bowl and a good city with a good performer, which we also know who the performer is this year, and it's going to be Rihanna.
Oh, my goodness. That'll be good.
Right. So that'll be good as well, which I'm very interested in, that they're going to have a woman headline after the scandal this year they've been having. But we'll see how that goes. I think Deshaun Watson, let's stop. Okay. Okay, let's stop. I was actually very surprised that there wasn't an uproar about this, but I'm going to just sit back and see, because I don't mind Rihanna. I think Rihanna's going to be an amazing halftime show. They try to put her and Beyonce against each other all the time. Do I know if she's going to top Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Mary J. Blige, all these amazing people? I don't know, but Rihanna. So I'm excited for that. But what I wanted to say was they are going to give us halfway through the season an extra entertainment boost, throwing in celebrities at you said at like you said, the flag football game. I think it's gonna be very cool.
That is gonna be cool.
Yeah, very good idea. That's all I was asking for.
So way back in the day, they used to have the skills challenge on ABC Sports. So something similar. So you see these guys competing against each other in different things. That'd be neat.
In a different light, right? Without their helmets on.
Right.
That's the thing. See, that's the thing about the NFL I've always had a problem with. They never had to invest in more entertainment because football is just that gravitating, right? I think now they're like, let's add everything to it. Let's do more. And I think it's going to be really neat.
Yeah, because the game was a joke. And it's like, now you guys can go there and win the 40-yard dash contest, win the relay, or win the, whatever it is,
Fun. That is fun. And when you go to an NFL game, they have those games set up in the corridors, in the arena. Kids step up, try to throw the ball into the hole. Come on now. That's fun. We love watching the NBA players have to go through the cones and try to get it through the hoop. And they're like, and then you see the couple guys who don't have it. They don't have those skills. So they're exposed a little bit. That's fun to watch. It's fun. It's relatable. It taps the guys in. It's going to be a benefit for the athlete. It really is. So exciting stuff. I just wanted to make sure we had talked about that because that happened just this morning. They made that announcement, and then they announced Super Bowl halftime show yesterday.
They should have a Family Feud or a password or have some kind of games that week too.
Okay, but people have to still be moving around. Come on now, it's football still, right? If they wanted to do that, they would have gone and caught a Cubs game or something. Come on now, you know that. I think no, I'm very excited for that. Very excited. And I still have an idea who's going to be in our Super Bowl, but we will find out in just past the new year, 2023.
Right.
Wintertime, which transitions us into a little bit of what we were talking about today. Dad, do you know, I'm going to start off the conversation. Do you know what seasonal depression is?
I do.
What do you think seasonal depression is? It's okay, and if you don't, but it's not taught. It's something we discuss. Go ahead.
I think it's time of the year that brings back a lot of family unrest, because for the first time you're going to have to see family that you've been avoiding. So it's issues that you grew up with, issues that have not been settled, but then you got to take that one day out of the year and deal with it. It brings back a lot of just unrest. It brings back a lot of emotional things that you haven't healed from. So I would say that has something to do with maybe.
I think, well, one, you're technically wrong, but that is a great way to look at the words, because that also is seasonal depression, right? Mm-hmm. That's the thing, right? Is the actual activity toll, the family toll, the people toll. That is one thing, right? You could call that seasonal depression. You can call that holiday depression. Mm-hmm. Seasonal depression is seasonal affective disorder. Occurs in climates where there is less sunlight at certain times of the year. Symptoms include fatigue, depression, hopelessness, and social withdrawal. So that's Chicago in the winter, Seattle year-round, New York in the winter. The places, it's when the sun starts to go away, the leaves start changing, and they start falling to the ground. It gets cold. You're not outside as much. You're not seeing people as much, right? And I don't know if you know this, but when you have vitamin D, so you get the sun, not only do you get tanner, you get freckles, everyone gets happy, they go to the beach, but also it boosts your endorphins and makes you a happier, more sociable person, right? So when we're talking about, and we want to talk about it today, is as the seasons change, it directly affects who you are, not just to yourself, but also to other people. So if you combat that with what you just said, with also the activity of having to go maybe be with people you don't want to actually be around, or people you haven't seen in a while, or having to go through something without a loved one now, or having a breakup before the holidays, all of these things, I think, combat to each other as a form of seasonal depression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think one of the things, the reason why I wanted to talk about this today, you brought the idea to me, and I wanted to push it a little further, is how great I felt on Wednesday when I was able to say, okay, it's fall now. And not just because fall is my favorite season, but also because, okay, it's a time for you to completely revamp who you are, who am I going to be for fall, right? What am I going to do for fall? What are my plans, my schedules, my goals, all those things we've talked about in Faith Family Focus? The seasons allow you to realign it all. And I think that that's one of the things I want to talk about today, is how much it can benefit you if you use it the right way, is using the seasons as chapters in your year. I think one of the things that happens, and fall is easy, right? Fall in the Midwest, fall everywhere is very easy. It comes and then it's gone November 30th, right? Because once December 1st hit, once that first snowfall hits, it's a long winter, right? Winter is, what they say, Game of Thrones, winter is coming, right? Think about it. From December 1st to sometimes Illinois, March, April, it's gray, it's cold, it's slushy, it's ice, it's negative degrees, there's the wind chill. And that keeps you inside. And oftentimes it can make you very slow, sluggish, sad. So one of the things I wanted to talk about right here is, how can we as human beings utilize the change in seasons and stay above in a positive space throughout the process? I don't know if you wanted to.
I do. But I want to first just kind of segue that into, not only we deal with the seasons change, but also the seasons of our lives have changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in terms of what you're going into the holiday with. You know, for example, we had a significant change in our life. After that significant change in our life, our holidays changed. Those seasons changed, and how we celebrated our holidays and who we spent our holidays with. And as we continue to press and navigate, for example, for a long time, you were not part of Thanksgiving because you were in school.
Right.
You know, and so that changed. That was a significant change. Now you're back in the area. There's that possibility again where we can actually spend Thanksgiving together. You now have a significant other that could be possibly a part of those holidays. So our families evolved. And, you know, we add on to our families, and then the old traditional holidays, people that we used to spend time with, of course, you know how our family is, that's kind of changed. But I think that has a lot to do with it too, and how our path have changed as we get further down the road. Our family dynamics change, who our significant others are, and that kind of, I think it really impacts.
Embracing it too, embracing the change of the change.
I mean, do you feel energized? I mean, now, you know, you're engaged, you know, does that bring a whole different excitement element?
No, no, but I'm also a different person where for me, I want things, I like, first of all, I don't like attention, and I don't like focusing on things. And so I'm happy in my moments. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. Mm-hmm. But what really gets me excited, what really gets me happy, and like on a, you know, where you walk outside and the weather is perfect, that feeling you get, right? Or when you smell the fall bonfires, that for me is what that does for me, is brings memories, and memories give me happiness. Yeah. And I think that that's what really drives me as the seasons change, as you go into holidays, as you meet new people. What really drives me is that smell, that scent, that moment, that temperature brings back consistency and memories. And it's like this every single year. And that is what I love the most about as the times change, because as everything else changes, right? Who you are fall 2021 is not who you are for fall 2022, right? I'm in a different home. I'm in a different city. I'm in a different space. I'm in a different job. There's everything changes, right? But for me, what makes it so beautiful is that silver lining that when I walk outside on September 26th, it smells like it was September 26th, 2004. And I think that that smell provides memories and moments, and it really just brings you to a peaceful space. Like I went grocery shopping at Jewel yesterday. How many times have I gone to Jewel on a Sunday in the fall and I have walked out to my car as a child, right? And that for me, I was like, wow, what a blessing that we can feel memories through a scent or a store or just even how the air feels, right? For me, that's what it does for me. So as things change, right, good and bad, the seasons, the moments, the memories, they consistently stay because you have been able to attach them to the smell of leaves, right? Or the 60 degrees on a Sunday, that feeling, right? Where it's not too cold, it's not too hot. So for me, that's what I always look forward to as the seasons change. And maybe something isn't the same, but the ability to introduce my newness to my oldness is such a fun thing for me. It's just perfect. I just love those moments where you'd be like, I remember that moment, right? Just from smelling the bonfire or them burning the leaves, right? Or even in the wintertime when you smell it, you're like, oh, it's going to snow today, right? Yeah. That for me is what really motivates the evolution to keep continuing to change and evolve and grow and embrace change and evolution, because underneath all of that, there's a foundation that does not change. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, that's wonderfully put.
Yeah. It's so, and then you know what? That's also a way, because a lot of what I wanted to talk about is as those changes in those moments and evolution that you were talking about, what makes it so, sometimes can make it hard for people. I think me doing what I just did, right? Showing you what motivates me, what makes it positive, what makes it movie-like for me. I found things that did that for me. And I think that each season is an opportunity for you to embrace a way to tap into those memories that bring you positivity. Even when you lose somebody, finding ways to, okay, I got to put my Christmas tree up. I've got to, put my lights up. Let me really indulge myself in holiday decorating. Let me really indulge myself in cooking. Let me host something this year. Let me do this. And I think that when you do that, you are stepping into, when you evolve, it feels good to evolve when you need something to look forward to. So I think that finding ways to elevate yourself, finding ways that work for you, are how you get through the change of the seasons that often can be hard.
Yeah, you did. You touched on something that was just, I think you and I both probably felt the same way, because this is a difficult season for us. But at the same, you embrace it because there's a lot of really good memories, but there were also a lot of challenging memories this time of the year, October, and Thanksgiving, December, and just embracing that, and because it does. I mean, just the smell of a Mum's,
Actually, I have no idea what Mums smell like. But I know what you mean when people start, change. What for me, what it is when you see half of the tree green, half of the tree orange, brown.
Yeah.
And you can really, and in your head, you're thinking, this world is remarkable. Mm-hmm. And by me saying that to myself, I'm taking a moment to pause and realize and appreciate where I am, right? Because in 15 years, I'm not going to remember when I stopped and smelled the roses, right? You won't. But that stop, that peace, that appreciation motivates you to who you can be in those 15 years. Each moment really counts. And I think here's something. During the seasons when you're lonely or you're tired or you're not looking forward to something or you're just having a rough time, it's easy for us to just try to get through it. You know what I mean? Like, wake up, do the day, go to sleep. Wake up, do the day, go to sleep. Wake up, do the day, go to sleep. Instead of adding the extra, that means, okay, I'm appreciating what's going on around me. I'm taking a walk, right? we're going to carve a pumpkin, right? Or we're going to go, apple picking, right? We've never done that. But if in your mind you're thinking, gosh, I'm really ready to just get to spring. That's easy for people to do, right? Is completely close the door, get through the season. And I think that that's hard because I think that's the easy way to do things. But it may be the easy way, but it's most detrimental because you're not allowing yourself to evolve with the season. You know what I mean? You're not allowing yourself to feel. I read something the other day. It's easy for you to try to hop over the problem instead of going through it. And seasons, holidays, they make you go through whatever it is you're going through. You have to. You know what I mean? Whether it's through memories, whether it's seeing people you don't like, whether it's seeing people you love, right? I think that it makes you face exactly what you could be wanting to not face. And I think that that's the benefit of living and chasing and evolving and appreciating the seasons as they come and go.
I think as a family, we have exemplified nothing but gratitude, although we have had a significant loss. But just being able to be grateful for another year, and gratitude, being positive, getting us through those holidays. Just making it. This is what God has given us today. Let's just make the most out of it. And they show gratitude. And I think that's what families really need to focus in on. Now, some of them do. Some of it is like just putting on the front, but just really diving into what about our life should we be grateful for?
Right.
Blessings of what we have, our health, because you think about it, I mean, especially this last 2 years, we talked about how the pandemic has significantly changed families' lives because a person is missing that table. But just kind of really focus on gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and that's the stop and smell the roses. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. And I had a conversation with Devin about this. I remember being in college as a college athlete, and you really are just like, first of all, when you're a college athlete, every day feels like it's the longest day ever. Every day feels like, oh my goodness, how am I going to keep doing this? And Friday comes, you're like, oh my goodness, I have to do it all over again, right? You have that feeling of you're on the hamster wheel. And it's like, when is this going to finally get easy? And then you blink and you're a senior and it's easy. But all those moments that you had, all those memories that you were just kind of like living and then being like, all right, trying to get through, trying to get to the end, trying to get there. And then you get there and you're like, wow, that happened so fast. So I think that what you don't realize, gosh, it's already 2022. And if you put that in perspective, I think everybody is kind of like, holy cow, it felt like the last 2 years ever. But just the other day, Joe Biden announced that the pandemic was over. Right. And so it's like, oh my goodness, while it felt like the longest process ever, it also feels like it was like that. So like you said, showing gratitude towards what your life does for you, I think is so important to stop and smell the roses, to appreciate, to remember these moments, because tomorrow doesn't have to be promised. You know what I mean? That's just, it's why would you want to not fulfill your day the best you can? Right? I mean, honestly, even with global warming, right? The summers are getting longer. They're getting hotter, right? The world is changing. The ozone layer is getting thinner. Pollution, all the things that we're working hard to fix and reverse is becoming irreversible, right? So these holidays that we know will start to get either shorter, right? They'll start to get less white, right? They'll start to get less warm, right? The seasons may look different. So appreciating now, right? My kids will never see a 10-foot snowstorm, but we got to see one, right? We got to see when the snow goes halfway up to the door, right? That may never happen again now with the climate, right? With the world changing, with everything evolving, things change, right? At one time, there were upside down Christmas trees, right? That was the thing. They had the upside down Christmas trees. They had the color wheels. They had people went to hay rides. Now the only people that go to hay rides are little kids, or right. So tapping into those moments when you still have them, gosh, that's such a way to show gratitude towards this earth, towards the world, towards beyond. You know what I mean? Allowing it to just let you be and just appreciate it, like you said.
Yeah.
That, I mean, God, how else can you distract yourself if you're going through a hard time? The best ways to do that is just really tunnel in and focus on what's making you happy.
Right.
Hold on to that.
Are you excited about the holidays, Thanksgiving? Are you excited about it?
Well, I've never had a Thanksgiving. I'm not going to have one this year.
Okay.
So Thanksgiving isn't, for me, we haven't done Thanksgiving. We just have, basketball through Thanksgiving, and we'll always basketball through Thanksgiving. Basketball is technically not a holiday.
Basketball, that's right.
Yeah. So for me, holidays that really hold on to is we get Halloween. We always had fun on Halloween as athletes. We always have fun with Christmas, even if it was for 24 hours. It's just, that's the thing also, is athletes, oftentimes the holidays are their only times to press pause. If you think about it. And it's not just athletes, it's athletes' families. You know what I mean? It's everybody just gets those 48 hours. And so, yeah, I guess, I don't look forward to Thanksgiving because I've never gotten to actually hold Thanksgiving, except for I was probably 9, 10, 11. And then it was like, all right, off to the races. Thanksgiving's gone. Go to the tournament. But with Christmas and stuff, I can definitely see it being exciting. For me, really what it is this, as the season changed, I get excited. Because you build up for those moments. You build up for Halloween. You build up for the trick-or-treating. We had no trick-or-treaters last year. None. But that was COVID. That was pandemic. With that trick-or-treating, this will be the first year trick-or-treating is really actually allowed to be back. There's some kids who are 2 years old, 3 years old, who still have no idea what it is to trick or treat. If you really think about it, they don't know the door-to-door process. They know trunk to trunk in the parking lot.
Right.
So,
what was the neighborhood where you guys went to when we were in Barrel Lane? That they had the big oversized candy bars.
Like finding the neighborhood with the big. They don't like. That's the thing. Now, I think it's going to be really exciting to see this holiday season because it allows people to really remember those memories, actually do those things we weren't allowed to do, but also do it with their families.
Right.
That's going to be fun, I think. And that's something you could just be grateful for, is that we get to do all that again. Right? Is go trick-or-treating and try to scavenge down. If someone leaves a bowl out, take the whole candy bowl. All the things the kids like, all the things that makes memories, because those stuff define who you are. Right? It's those things.
Steal somebody's bag. Is that what defines who you are?
I don't want to do that, but yes, I'm actually a very responsible trick-or-treater, and I respect other people because it's not about me. It's about the other kids that come behind me. But sometimes we lose that sight.
Right.
But that's a character builder for people. That's what holidays do for people. It really does. I mean, from the month of September to January 2nd, right? I think that's a big time gap of memories being made, families seeing each other. You get a lot of time off mentally from work. So I think that, I don't know, I just really love that time of year. And then now that the pandemic is officially over, according to Joey B, I think that it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be a really fun one. And I think that it's much needed for a lot of people because of what I just showed you, which was the seasonal depression. Because we have been in a long gray cloud, just almost there. We always almost got there. And then we were like, oh, lockdown, right? Almost there, lockdown. Almost there, monkeypox, right? And we kept getting close, right? And now the COVID vaccine is like the flu vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So allowing yourself to really feel this season, appreciate, we are in fall 2022. We did not know if we would get here. We're here, right? Yeah. So embracing it, do it all, have fun with it.
Good topic, Faith.
Very good, very good. And I think we can close up for today, but I think that we had a lot of good discussions. One about the NFL. How crazy is that Pro Bowl cancellation? I'm very excited to see how they do. If they don't do a good job, I'm going to tell you, Dad, on this show. I'm going to tell you they could have did better. But I think they're going to do a great job.
I'm pretty certain that you will.
Yes. Well, I just feel like there's so much potential.
Right.
It's such a great idea. I think it's so fun when people can actually see who's under the helmet. It's different with basketball. We see their faces all the time. I think it'd be really neat to see some of these NFL guys' faces, personalities, family, I think the guys will buy into the event more now that the game's gone too.
Me too.
Unless they want to go to Hawaii. I completely understand going on a family vacation too.
That was such a big deal, going to Hawaii,
Yeah, but now it's not. Because here's the thing. Now the guys can go to Turks and Caicos on their private jet. It's different now. Hawaii was once unreachable. Remember? Hawaii was Turks and Caicos. Now Hawaii is like California. It's like Disney World. Disney World's now like I'm excited. I think that the NFL is slowly evolving with their payment, who they have in the league, the personalities, what it's built. And then also what a great discussion on, the holidays and changing. And as we head into the fall, we can discuss and have make more great discussions about, I think today we tapped into mental health. We tapped in on goals. We tapped in on tackling positivity, talked about making memories and gratitude. So great show. I really do think it was a great show. Again, this is Faith Family Focus. We're going to use our faith as a vehicle to help heal and strengthen others. And of course, our slogan. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Happy fall.